We know our Earth is called the blue planet because 71% of the Earth's surface is covered with water bodies. Now, these water bodies are home to a variety of marine animals. Now, apart from animals, we human beings also depend on water for various purposes like for cooking, bathing, washing clothes and utensils, and also for drinking purposes. Now, basically, water helps to sustain life on Earth. Now, you will be surprised to know that the water that we are consuming every day is losing its purity. Let's know about a real-life example of a polluted water body. In India, most of the rivers are considered as sacred and they are worshipped as God. Now, in spite of this fact, we human beings are polluting these water bodies by discarding waste and garbage into them. Yamuna, that flows in the northwestern part of India, is considered as one of the most polluted rivers in the world. Yamuna is getting polluted as Delhi and adjoining states are discarding almost 58% of their waste into this water body, that is river Yamuna. Now, can you tell me what is the situation called that is depicted in this video? In our previous video, we saw how river Yamuna is getting polluted due to disposal of all sorts of waste and garbage into it. Now, this situation where the water bodies get contaminated due to release of toxic substances in them is known as water pollution. So, water pollution refers to the contamination of water bodies due to release or discharge of toxic and harmful substances in it. Now look at these pictures. Now if I ask you that whether you will be able to consume this water, what will be your answer? Of course, you will not be willing to consume this water because this water is dirty and filthy and it is not fit for any use, say cooking, bathing, washing clothes and even for drinking purposes. So when we discharge any waste or garbage in water bodies, these pollutants degrade the quality of water and it is not fit for any use. So this situation where the water bodies get contaminated due to addition of toxic substances in them is known as water pollution. Now let us know about various sources of water pollution. A major source of water pollution is domestic sewage and municipal waste. Now, what is the meaning of these terms? Well, we know that we generate a lot of waste in our everyday lives like leftover food, old books, torn clothes, plastic bottles, glass bottles, etc. Now, what do we do with these waste? We generally discard them and these waste are then carried to water bodies like rivers, canals, etc. And these pollutants like leftover food, old paper, torn clothes, etc. that are generated as households and are eventually carried to water bodies is known as sewage and municipal waste. Now, these sewage and municipal waste, as I mentioned, are carried to water bodies like rivers, canals, etc. through sewer pipes, as we can see in this video, and these waste eventually pollute these water bodies. Now, apart from domestic waste, industries are also major source of water pollution. Now, we know that industries use a lot of chemicals in their daily processes. Now, these chemicals and other toxic substances are eventually carried to water bodies without any treatment. So, the toxic chemicals and untreated waste water are released directly into the water bodies, and this is how industrial waste leads to water pollution. In modern times, the farmers use advanced farming techniques like they use chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, etc. Now, although these substances like chemical fertilizers, pesticides, etc., boost crop production, but they are not environment friendly. This is because these substances can cause water pollution. Let me explain you how. See, when these substances are used in crop fields, they are eventually washed away to fresh water bodies like rivers, lakes, etc. by rainwater. So, rainwater, as it flows over the crop fields, they wash away these chemicals along with them. So this is how these substances like chemical fertilizers and pesticide are carried on to water bodies and they pollute them. Thus, apart from household waste and industrial effluents, agricultural activities can also lead to water pollution. Now, before we proceed with our lesson, let me ask you a question. Which of the following does not cause water pollution? Is it use of chemical fertilizers, use of insecticides, dumping of plastics in water bodies, and use of natural manure? What do you think? Yes, the correct answer is use of natural manure. Natural manure does not cause any sort of pollution, while the rest of the options like use of chemical fertilizers, use of insecticides and dumping of plastics in water bodies lead to water pollution, as I just mentioned. So the correct option is use of natural manure. Now here we have a summary chart on various sources of water pollution. The different sources of water pollution, as we discussed, are domestic waste, industrial waste, and agricultural waste. Now, domestic waste mostly comprises of sewage and other waste that we usually generate at our households, like leftover food, plastic bottles, glass bottles, and even waste that are produced in human body. All these waste comprise of the domestic waste, and these domestic waste are eventually dumped into the water bodies via sewer pipes. Now, apart from domestic waste, the untreated industrial waste water along with other toxic chemicals are released into the water bodies directly without any treatment. So this is how industrial waste lead to water pollution. Now, agricultural activities can also cause water pollution, especially if we use chemical fertilizers, pesticides and insecticides in crop fields. So these are the major sources of water pollution. According to Hindu religion, it's a tradition to immerse the idols of god and goddesses in the water bodies after the puja ceremony is performed. But although we hardly realize it, but we are actually polluting the water bodies by performing this custom. This is because when these idols melt and decompose in the water bodies, the paint, plastic and clothes used to decorate these idols get dissolved in the water bodies and they eventually lead to water pollution. So addition of these substances alters the physical, that is color texture of these water bodies, and can also alter the chemical composition of these water bodies, and this is how these substances lead to water pollution. So till now we have understood the meaning of water pollution and various sources of water pollution. Let us now identify various pollutants that are released from various sources of water pollution. As I just mentioned, domestic waste and agricultural waste are major sources of water pollution. Now, this domestic waste comprises of leftover food, that is food waste, and sewage. Agricultural waste comprises of pesticides, insecticides, and may also include tree debris. Now, all these waste are generated from organic matter, and these waste are therefore known as organic pollutants. So organic pollutants are the pollutants that are generated from the organic matter, and these organic pollutants when dumped into water bodies lead to water pollution. Now, apart from household waste and agricultural waste, industrial effluents are also major sources of water pollution. Now, these industrial discharges comprises of heavy metals and toxic chemicals like arsenic, cadmium, lead, mercury, chromium, etc. Now, these heavy metals or toxic chemicals are not generated from organic matter, rather they are of mineral origin, and so they are known as inorganic pollutants. So unlike organic pollutants, inorganic pollutants are not generated from organic matter, rather they are of mineral origin, which is inorganic in nature, and so these pollutants are known as inorganic pollutants. Now, inorganic pollutants mostly come from industries, because we know that industries use various chemical compounds and minerals in their daily processes. So, industries release various inorganic pollutants into the water bodies and pollute them. So, in today's video, we first understood the meaning of water pollution. Water pollution refers to the contamination of water bodies due to release of toxic substances in them. Next, we discussed about various sources of water pollution. The three major sources of water pollution are domestic waste, industrial waste, and agricultural waste. Then we categorized the water pollutants into two types based on their origin. The pollutants that are generated from organic matter are known as organic pollutants, whereas the pollutants that are of mineral origin are known as inorganic pollutants. So this is all about today's lesson on sources of water pollution. In our next lesson, we will try to analyze the effects of water pollution. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com or download the DeltaStep app to learn one-to-one with our amazing teachers, or to get access to our 5,000 amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million-plus questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock tests. Get all your doubt resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, but it's rewarding too. So register for free now.